Alright, YouTube, this is the third attempt. I'm just not good at reviewing liquor, but I'm going to give it a go. This will be brief, but this is Plantation rum from Barbados. It's kind of got a waxed paper and the appearance of a rope tied around it, making for a good presentation. This is the Grande Reserve. And they're really featuring this tribal insignia here. And then there's a display of a painting of kind of a plantation in the background. In the glass itself, they have this coin-looking insignia, once again with their tribal design, and ringed with dots. And the bottle's great. The bottle is really nice. It says Plantation there. This was recommended to me, and it's fine rum. I've been sipping on it slowly for about 6 months probably. So I don't often drink liquor, but when I do, I tend to like rum. I would never really turn my nose up at rum. But I also like tequila, and in some cases I'll get tequila and slowly sip on a bottle of that for months. Well, they've tried to do some intense branding with this little insignia because it's everywhere, and I wonder what it means. I mean, Barbados might have some tradition of like tribal symbology or something. Or, you know, with any type of a corporate insignia or a logo, it's probably meaningless. So, from France, bottled by a company in France. I did a little research, and it's aged in sherry casks, making for an interesting twist on the usual rum. I've tried lots of rums like Sailor Jerry's and, of course, Captain Morgan's and the Kraken. And I am not happy with the Kraken. I thought it was vile swill, and it's just been marketed correctly. And that's a strong opinion I hold. And Sailor Jerry I thought was a little more palatable, but it's just got that kind of a cherry flavor. So, great for mixing, I'm sure. I've not mixed this ever. I don't think I've even had one sip of it mixed with Coke. So, but I did like Captain Morgan's Private Reserve. It's kind of in a rectangular, squat-looking bottle, and that gave me the real sensation of like a cigar humidor when I was enjoying it the one time I tried it. It's probably the setting because I was in I was camping at a festival and somebody had it in their cooler and popped it out. But I think at that particular year I was drinking a lot of my friend's Baron Jaeger too, which was pretty good. I got to be fond of that stuff. It's a honey liqueur, and I was really glad when those honey liqueurs hit the market. Let's see, I think Jim Beam's got one, but it was another company I believe that really took off with it and was the first one sort of to break into the market. Baron Jaeger is probably much older, but it wasn't really on my particular radar. But I'm a fan of those. This stuff is a beautiful amber color, the color of weak tea when it's in my May Your Day Be Filled with Happiness mug. Oops, we don't want to go too overboard, do we? The real trouble I'm having is identifying the spice notes and trying to put into words what I'm experiencing in the nose. It's got a warm, kind of a musty smell. But the particular spices I'm not really getting, and I'm not familiar enough with rums or sherry to really have any type of a clue. What I am certain of is that I like it, especially in small sips. I'm not really one to drink a lot of liquor. I have, of course, many times in life, but now, I mean, this bottle was a $22 investment, and it's lasted 6 months, and it'll probably be sticking around for another 6 months. Unless there's some type of a celebrant atmosphere going on one night. So, well, I've been sniffing at it, but I don't really have much to say. It's got a good smell, and it's got a really oily look. There's definitely some body in the way that it swims around the glass. So. There's sort of a leathery, fruity flavor. like a dried fruit, but not raisins. The slipperiness is awesome. It does feel like it's these flavors are sort of just naturally in the stuff because of the wood aging, and not just because it's been manufactured in some laboratory. So I am getting the sensation of wood cask aging, and with bourbons, I've never really been too much of a fan of whiskeys or bourbons, and in fact, in my limited experience, I think I probably like the Jack Daniel's style of Tennessee whiskey over all of the Kentucky style bourbons. Even the really higher end ones, the sipping whiskeys, I've just never ever been able to get past the flavor. But maybe it's because there were some early experiences in my life when I drank at a young age way too much bourbon. So that might have just put me in a trajectory that makes me stay far, far away from bourbons. I've done some flights of awesome scotches. I don't really have the time or the inclination really to become an expert on the peaty sort of single malt scotches or even blended Scotch whiskeys. I'm just not really a whiskey type, you know. I mean, even if I really like one, it's a lukewarm sort of an opinion that I developed. So, if you're in the market for some rum and you want to get some good stuff, I recommend this to anyone, because for me it's a little bit of a unique experience. It really seems to me the opposite of these mass made popular, just artificially spiced rums. So, not that this is even, I guess, a spiced rum. I think it is just pretty much a strict Barbados sugarcane rum, and that aging in France is what does it. So here's to 5 years in a sherry cask and specialty rums. The Grand Reserve Plantation. Only for sipping, though.